There was once a boy whose mother carried him in her womb for a full 3 years and 6 months before giving birth. Yet he did not enter the world in the form of an ordinary child, but as a strange, fleshy orb. His father saw him as a monster and even attempted to kill him. Fate was even crueler to him. He eventually lost his physical body and could only be reborn in a body sculpted from lotus roots. This boy is none other than the later deified god of war, Nezha. In today's video, we will dive into Nezha's world, exploring his turbulent path to divinity and uncovering the hardships and glory he experienced along the way. I'm Mr. Yao, and welcome to the Leyenda Yokai channel. Here, I explore famous yokai and urban legends. If you're into these topics, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos. At the end of the Shang dynasty, the world was in turmoil, with wars raging everywhere. In the border fortress of Chunthang Pass, an inexplicable and bizarre event quietly unfolded. Investiture, the wife of the garrison commander Li Jing, had been pregnant for a full 3 years and 6 months, yet the child showed no signs of being born. This abnormal occurrence cast an eerie atmosphere over the entire Chunthang Pass. Finally, on a stormy night, Lady Yin was struck by intense labor pains, and Li Jing hurriedly summoned a midwife. But when the child was born, everyone was stunned. It was not a baby, but a perfectly round, fleshy sphere. Li Jing was horrified, believing it to be an ominous creature. He even drew his sword, prepared to slay it on the spot. However, Lady Yin desperately shielded the strange child from harm. At that moment, the fleshy orb suddenly emitted a blinding light, and a boy burst forth from it. The boy was wrapped in a red silk ribbon, the Hun Tian Ling, and wore a golden, shimmering ring, the Qianquan circle, on his wrist. As soon as the boy landed on the ground, he smiled at Investiture and said, "Mother, I have descended from the heavens. There is no need to worry." Li Jing and Investiture stared at the chubby, fair-skinned boy before them, their hearts filled with both shock and joy. Yet, amidst their happiness, a faint unease lingered in their hearts. This child, born after 3 years and 6 months of pregnancy, already had the size of an ordinary child and could speak from birth. He was destined to be extraordinary. Li Jing named this unique child Nezha, unaware that this name would one day resonate across the 3 realms. From an early age, Nezha displayed extraordinary talent, blessed with immense strength. He could effortlessly lift 100-pound stone weights. When he ran, he moved like a gust of wind, so fast that even grown men struggled to keep up. His eyes gleamed with an otherworldly spirit, as if he could see through the very fabric of existence. What was even more astonishing was his connection to the Qianquan circle and Hun Tian Ling. These mystical weapons responded to his very thoughts. With just a simple flick, he could stir the winds, summon storms, and shake the heavens. Nezha was born with divine strength, capable of shaking mountains and rivers with a mere gesture. However, this immense power made him an outcast among children his age. They feared him, avoiding him whenever he approached. Over time, Nezha grew lonely, with no companions to share his world. Seeking solace, he would often run to the shores of the eastern sea, wielding his Hun Tian Ling to stir the waves. As the water surged and the fish scattered, he found a strange comfort, almost as if the vast ocean was the only thing that understood his solitude. Before long, Tai Zhenren, the wise sage from Jingguang Cave on Kunlun Mountain, descended to the mortal world. Recognizing Nezha's extraordinary potential, he took him as a disciple and brought him to the mountains for training. Under his master's guidance, Nezha quickly mastered powerful spells and celestial arts, soon returning to Chuntharng Pass with newfound strength. When Nezha was 7 years old, a stormy encounter by the Eastern Sea changed his fate forever. That day, as usual, he ran to the shore and playfully swung his Hun Tianling, churning the sea into towering waves. The force was so great that even the dragon palace at the ocean's depths trembled violently. Inside the palace, the Dragon King was resting when the sudden quake sent him tumbling from his throne. Enraged, he ordered Yechar to investigate. Armed with a steel trident, Yechar emerged from the water, his expression fierce. The moment he saw Nezha, he barked a harsh warning and charged. But Nezha was too quick. His nimble form easily evaded the strike. As the battle unfolded, Yechar quickly realized he was no match for Nezha. Overwhelmed, he turned to flee, but before he could escape, Nezha's Chinquan circle struck him down, ending his life in an instant. When the Dragon King learned that his subordinates had been killed, his dragon whiskers bristled with rage. He immediately sent his third son, Albing, to capture Nezha. Albing, wielding a long spear and riding the waves, arrived before Nezha with an imposing presence. Without a word, the two engaged in battle. After a few rounds, Albing began to falter, and Nezha struck him in the chest with the Chinquan circle, killing him on the spot. Still furious, Nezha pulled out Albing's dragon tendon, declaring that he would take it back to make a belt for his father. When the Dragon King learned that Albing had not only failed to capture Nezha, but had also been killed, he was overcome with grief. He immediately went to the Heavenly Court to lodge a complaint. Upon hearing the report, the Jade Emperor was enraged and immediately issued an order for Nezha's arrest. News of this decree reached Chuntharng Pass, where Li Jing was trembling with anger. He pointed at Nezha and furiously berated him, even going so far as to declare that he would execute his own son in the name of righteousness. Nezha looked at his father, his heart filled with grievance and sorrow. He had never expected that instead of protecting him, his father would be the one to personally take his life. Stubborn as ever, he lifted his head, a flicker of determination flashing in his eyes. To prove himself and to repay his parents for bringing him into this world, Nezha drew his sword without hesitation. With unwavering resolve, he cut away his flesh and stripped his bones, returning his very body to his mother and father. Li Jing and Yinshi stood frozen in shock. They had never imagined that their 7-year-old son would choose to end his life in such a resolute and tragic manner. After Nezha's death, his soul drifted to Tai Zhenren. Unwilling to vanish from existence, he begged his master for help. Seeing that Nezha's fate was not yet sealed, Tai Zhenren took pity on him and performed the Lotus Rebirth ritual, using lotus flowers and roots to forge him a new body. Reborn with a body of lotus, Nezha now possessed an immortal form. Filled with resentment after his resurrection, Nezha was determined to return to Chuntharng Pass and seek revenge against Li Jing. But Tai Zhenren stopped him. He told Nezha that his father had his own burdens to bear and urged him to let go of hatred for the greater good. Tai Zhenren had foreseen that Nezha would play a crucial role in the upcoming Investiture of the Gods War. Thus, he decided to teach him even greater magic and divine techniques. Under his master's guidance, Nezha learned to control his newfound powers, riding the wind-fire wheels, wielding the fire-tipped spear, and mastering his 3 heads and 6 arms. He became a warrior of unparalleled might. No longer just a rebellious youth, Nezha gradually transformed into a true guardian of justice, stepping onto the path of legend. After completing his training, Nezha followed Tai Junren's guidance and found his way to Shichi, which was preparing for war against King Zhou. He joined the forces led by Jiang Ziya, becoming one of the most formidable warriors in the campaign. During the great Investiture of the Gods' War, Nezha fought with unmatched valor, earning his place among the immortal deities. Nezha's battle in the Investiture of the Gods is a vast and complex story in Fengshen. Not only did he befriend powerful allies like Erlang Sheng and Leyenda, but he also faced off against formidable opponents. While I'm also very interested in Fengshen and plan to create related videos, I might not be able to cover it in the near future. If you'd like to see more stories about the Investiture War or Nezha, let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates. It's totally free. Thank you. Beyond Fengshen, Nezha also appears in Journey to the West. As an important general of the Heavenly Court, he was frequently tasked with carrying out divine missions. During Sun Wukong's rebellion in Havoc in Heaven, Nezha battled fiercely against him. Although he was ultimately defeated, he demonstrated immense strength and unwavering bravery. Later, on Tharng Shanzhong's Journey to the West, Nezha assisted the pilgrims multiple times. Nezha's presence in Journey to the West remains significant. He is not only a guardian of the Heavenly Court, but also a symbol of justice and courage. Whether as the war god in Fengshen or the celestial general in Journey to the West, Nezha's legend has left a lasting impression. His story is filled with epic adventures and transformation, illustrating how a rebellious youth became a heroic protector of righteousness. Even today, Nezha's tale continues to captivate audiences, solidifying his place as an irreplaceable figure in Chinese culture. If you enjoy my channel, please help by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you next time.